I call the Dickinson County Commission regular meeting order February 29th, 2024. Please stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda with an additional item. Construct a 50 by 100 16-foot building down at the highway yard. Move we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda, minutes of the 22nd meeting and the minutes of the Board of Health meeting, February 22nd. Payroll of $412,182.72. Abatement of $2,764.84. Special check for County Attorney's Office of $40.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Commission comments and committee reports. Ron?
I just want to thank the public for getting a hold of us in different times, different instances when we have problems in the county and letting us know what's on their mind and how we can resolve situations. I appreciate the county staff for working hard to make sure those issues were addressed quickly. So again, we appreciate people working as a team in the county and the county working as a team. Okay, thank you.
Lynn?
We'd had a Central Kansas Mental Health meeting the other day, and then also I was over there earlier in the week and continuing on as treasurer for the organization, but we do have a financial director that really does all the work, Sheila, over there. And so I was just over there updating some of the signatures and reviewing some of our finances, and things are looking very positive there.
Earlier this morning, Martin Tannehill was in, our road and bridge supervisor, gave an update of the road work and bridges and kind of what his crystal ball shows for prices maybe going up and stuff, which we all know was going to go happen. I did attend the KAC monthly meeting in Topeka yesterday. I went through some of the stuff in the work session, but just the local government day, there was 50 to 60 people were there, and there was a few more that attended the reception afterwards. And then at the county government day, there was 23 tables and 7 counties that were represented there. The box lunch, everybody had to on that. Good comments about that. Also, I don't know if you knew this or not. I didn't put it here last week. North Central Regional Planning Commission is now only going to be meeting quarterly. So they probably won't be meeting until April. We'll get more information on that. So we do have presentations of proclamations and other public meetings. Steve, come on up. Got the podium, man.
Podium for now, maybe.
Yeah. Brief oral history of your time. I'll make it brief.
Oh, Lori might need to step by him and kind of poke him if he gets around.
We'll give you 5-10 minutes. So when did you start with the county? I know 22 years of service. What all have you seen change?
Oh, I think that was 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I wrote Janelle a letter about some of the improvements that's happened through the years, and she said it was more like a book. But actually, it could have been longer, but I did stop. But I've seen a lot of improvements, and my big worry is that they won't maintain them. And I hope they do, because we get a lot of compliments for being a transfer station. You might not realize it, but the other counties around us, they don't have what we have. And the people appreciate it. They really do. I mean, and it's kind of ironic that the other day, you remember how I explained to you in the book how the pit used to be out back?
Mhm.
When I first started, it was basically a swamp back there. And you had a pit that they burned limbs in, but they couldn't really burn them because it was full of water and mosquitoes. And I was back there cleaning that area, and a guy told me he wanted to know to put some stuff, dirt and rocks and wood, which we have now piles for every type of thing you can bring in. We have a place for it. And so I showed him, and he made the comment, he goes, man, this place has changed so much. He goes, I've been coming out here 21 years. He goes, this used to be a swamp. You could hardly even drive out here. And he goes, and now, he goes, look at it. I know where to dump. And he got me on a roll. So it was just ironic that I was telling you about that. And and I hear this all the time, but you people never hear it. We do a lot out there, and I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get.
I'll use Steve, I want to use an example for that. I work for the Corps of Engineers, and we used to have people dump refrigerators, stoves and stuff like that. Perry County wouldn't take them, but we were able to come over from Milford Lake and bring that stuff to the transfer station in Dickinson County at no cost.
Keep it out of there.
And that's, and in the past, you had to drain the Freon, and now you don't. The only thing I don't like is sometimes I get surprises in there. And you know what I mean? And, yeah.
Want to be careful when you open that refrigerator door up, huh?
Yeah, I know. I'm a cartoonist, and boy, I've got some good ones for the landfill. Yeah. One of them is the guy's bringing in a refrigerator. You remember Junior and Guano, and he always asks him, is there any surprises in there? And the guy goes, no. And when he sees he's watching the guy through the window there, and he sees him dumping it, and then there's like fumes coming out of it. And then next thing you know, you see Junior's hand on this TNT thing. And you just boom. Yeah, you got to look at the funny side of this stuff because it does happen. And yeah, I've got some good ones.
Yes, he does. He's laid it out.
Got a book there.
Yes, without a doubt.
Should take time to read that
Well,
at a work study sometime.
you want to make any comments and stuff?
So just, Steve, the pictures I passed out, Steve had presented them to us. And he's done so many things out there to help with the efficiency and the safety of the employees. And that's huge, because they're dealing with obviously waste. And when they're dumping the oil or handling the aerosol cans or paint, there's a lot that goes into it. And like Steve said, we don't realize that. So we appreciate his years.
I've got some pictures of how it was before. And it's disgusting. That's just the part of me that had to change it. And we didn't have really anyone capable of doing that. See, I'm a pattern maker by trade. I don't know if you know what that is, but like the engine that's in your car, I would make it out of wood. See, I'm the guy that's responsible for making all that stuff. And then once it's made, then they can cast it and that. So, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to tell you with my kind of background, this working at the dump was a piece of cake. And I'm, by the way, that word is not allowed out there. My men say the D word, they're in trouble.
It's a transfer.
Because there's enough of that going around.
Yes.
We are more than the dump. And they need to be paid as more than the dump. It's a shame. It's a shame what you are doing to them men, putting them so low. Because as I've explained in there, the duties, maybe you need to take a better look at it.
And that's something that we're definitely doing, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
It's too late for me, but it's not too late for them.
Well, we appreciate the work you did on our boot out here.
Yes,
That's something that will be around forever. I hope so.
it's beautiful.
And the rain barrel
Mhm.
artwork.
Yes,
Yeah.
Got, want to get a picture here?
absolutely. You want to go up there with him?
You guys stand, you guys can set, I'll come around here behind us. Yeah. I'll get one with them later. Steve.
That's got your retirement card in there too, Steve. So you get access to the transfer station.
Oh, well then I didn't need my fake card.
It's okay. It's okay.
Like,
Randy's online too.
oh,
Thank you a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Do you want to introduce who's with
Yep.
you?
This is my mom, my wife, and I'm their caretaker. I give mom infusions every week, and all our health is kind of going, but they really need some help. So that kind of spurred this for me, because I was really torn about leaving.
We're glad you have the opportunity though to do this. Yes.
Randy online, want to say anything?
Let's see. Randy, do you want to say something?
And while she's pulling Randy up, I appreciate what you do. And you've left a lasting impression on everything that takes place out there. And like you said, I think we need to elevate our level of appreciation, but also in other ways of the dedication that all employees have, but that you've exemplified. So thank you.
Okay, is that it?
Well, Randy may,
He's not responding, so I'm not sure if he can. He's
online and
He's watching it.
He's working, he's what he told me, so.
he's always been a person of few
There,
words.
I'm unmuted, aren't I?
Yep, you're unmuted.
Oh,
Okay, so Steve, congratulations. It's well deserved. You put in many years. Appreciated working with you, and enjoy retirement. It's well worth it.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciated you as a boss too.
Well, thank you. Good
Good.
luck.
Good luck. Thank you.
Feel free to stay if you want to, or you can head on out.
How are you doing?
I'm breathing today.
Yeah. We're glad you came by.
Next year.
Yes, ma'am. That's good.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Anybody else online?
Good luck to y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next report county officer, Janelle.
Commissioners, it's starting busy weeks, busy times. Not that we're not busy all the time, but so the bridge at 1022 Old 40 will start next week. The company will be here to start that process. And just as a reminder, Old 40 will be closed just east of Abilene, and you'll have to take 2200 around or get on interstate to go around. The highway department is also crack sealing in preparation for our asphalt work, chip sealing and mastic sealing this year. They are replacing the bridge at 1505 Oat Road, and that should be done here today or tomorrow. They're also hauling riprap to Sewer District 1. We had an inspection from KDHE, and they noted that we needed to do some, add some riprap to that. The appraiser's office is sending out the change of value notices on March 1st. And just a reminder, the change of value notices will show what your property was assessed at prior year and current year. So you can see what's going on with that. And then if you have any questions, please contact the appraiser's office and they'll help you with any questions that you might have. You're going to have a upcoming rezoning request, and that's going to be in the Thurlow Estates, and that will come before you next week. So Tim will be here to handle that, and we'll send out the information to you prior to the meeting. Our environmental services director is attending the Noxious Weed Conference this week, so that's why Derek wasn't able to be here today for Steve's retirement. And our our emergency manager's planning on an upcoming tabletop exercise this month. So that's going to involve the entire region. We'll get more information about that. And they should start re-roofing Sterl Hall the week of March 18th. So that's what I would have right now.
Any questions for Ron? Ron?
I'm good.
Doug, please.
Thank you. I don't have much of an update for right now, but I can tell you that Russ Rowe, the last attorney that joined the group, is up to full speed, doing a good job. And so all of that's working well right now. All I have. Thank you.
Any questions for Jeannie? You want to give kind of an update on the election process?
Yes, we started early voting on Wednesday. We also sent out 113 advanced ballots. And because this is a polling place, there cannot be any electioneering within 200 feet of the courthouse. That means no campaign buttons, signs, stickers, hats, anything like that can be worn in here because of that. Also, ballots must be in by 7 p.m. for election day. That is a different rule for the presidential primary compared to the other elections. And then also, if you want to be able to see a copy of your sample ballot, you can go to Voter View or you can go to our website. We have that on our page where you can go to Voter View and see a sample of your ballot. And the early voting ends at noon on March 18th, and March 19th is the election day, and the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Thanks. Voting, much in-person voting happening yet?
We had 10 as of yesterday.
No kidding.
Mhm.
Probably be light.
Probably.
Any questions for Jeannie? Ron, Lynn?
Got good. Thank you, Jeannie.
Notice and communications. I have a letter here from the Central Kansas Mental Health celebrating 60 years of service to the area. And then we've got a letter from the city of Abilene on a,
RHID?
yeah. And the meeting is going to be April 8th at April 8th public hearing on the establishment of the downtown loft reinvestment housing initiative. Anybody else have anything? There was nothing in the email.
I was doing some work outside the other day at the office and had someone pull up and motion for me to come over and visit with them and in regards to county business, and it had to do with the wind turbine potential proposal and so on. They happen to be for it, but they mentioned to me that they would not be inclined, even though they're in favor, and I've had some where it's been in disfavor also, but they mentioned they would not be inclined to show up at a meeting or write a letter to the editor or whatever, that they're just more of a low profile or so. Decades ago, they used to call people like that silent majority. Not that that's a majority, but there are people that they just aren't as vocal or out front on something like that. But certainly if people do have comments, we welcome them and understand that some people, they've got views one way or the other on it, but maybe will not show up at our meeting.
Thank you, Lynn. Introduction, consideration, resolution, having none. Unfinished business, none. Other business, approval, purchase of the equipment and storage shed for the sewer district number 1, Talmadge.
Commissioner, similar to what we have done with the sewer district number 3 there at Detroit, we're proposing that we purchase a mower and a container for storage and then a weed eater. And the highway department reached out and got some quotes for us. We've got a 20-foot used container from Chuck Henry at $3,150. Weed eater, a steel weed eater from Pioneer at $399. The mowers we're going to have a little bit more expense. So we've got a quote on Hustler Motors from Lumber House. There's 3 that he's quoted, an X1 60-inch rear discharge at $10,916, but If you recall, that's a residential, and that's probably not a heavy enough duty mower. We've also had a quote from Super Z, 60-inch rear discharge at $13,250, and then a Hyperdrive 72-inch rear discharge at $15,500. And a 60-inch would be more than adequate to mow the lagoons there. We also have John Deere mower quotes from Prairie Land, and all of the mowers are in stock, which is good. The first one is a Z95OR Z-Track 60-inch rear discharge at $15,629.46. And the other is a Z930M Z-Track 60-inch rear discharge at $12,361.58. So the recommendation would be to go with the Z930M Z-Track 60-inch at the $12,361.58 and has a 2-year warranty on that. And the total amount for the container, the weed eater, and the mower would be $15,911.58 total. And this would be for the Talmadge Sewer District. The Sewer District Fund would be utilized to pay these costs as we do. We have normal costs that come out of there, like the alarm monitoring, some electric, and then also our certified wastewater operator, which I'll be bringing a contract for you to review when we get that finalized. So there's about 7 acres, a little over 7 acres out there that we would be maintaining. So do you have any questions for me?
Ron, Lynn?
I would go ahead and make the motion that we go with this amount of $15,911.58, which includes the 20-foot used container from Chuck Henry sales, delivered to Talmadge, the weed eater for $399, and then the John Deere quote from Prairie Land that's in stock, the Z930M Z-Track 60-inch rear discharge, $12,361.58.
I'll second that motion. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval for the asphalt project overlay from Abilene to Chapman on those 40s? No?
Commissioners, earlier when Martin was in, he reviewed our projects that we would be going with for this year. And part of that is an overlay project and the 10 miles, as Craig had said, from Abilene to Chapman. We've got a quote of $73.75 a ton, and we're estimating 16,200 tons. So it's just shy of $1.2 million. It's $1,194,750. Yes. So the unfortunate part of this is we saw an increase of $9.55 per ton compared to what we paid for last year. And that is attributed to rock prices increasing. So we're anticipating the oil is going to stay the same, but rock is going to go up. So
I do have a question, Phil. I mean, I know this is a fixed price, but are we guaranteed that we're not going to use any more than that, or are we going to use less?
he has to give him an estimate.
Okay.
So that's the only way.
That's what I was asking about is,
Mhm.
so if we use more than that, we'd have to pay.
No, we would still have the 73.
Yeah, I was saying we'd have to pay on top of this.
Yes.
1.5 million.
1 point. Yeah.
That's an approximate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then can you tell us the funding mechanism for this?
So this will come out of his operating budget, out of Fund 2000, the highway budget. So I know money's coming out of sales tax for that too. So, but we're using money out of the sales tax fund to pay for the first, you're taking First Road out of there, aren't you? Yes, First Road out of there. Yes.
There's no grant or match that's associated with this.
Maintenance that we're doing. Yes, no grants on this.
And if I remember, before you and I got on the commission, Lynn, we did about commission before they did 40 miles and they bonded it, if I remember right.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Or we used the state program, the loan fund program that they had. Yes. That, they're not utilizing that anymore,
Right.
but I've heard rumors that that would be coming back. It's just, we haven't seen anything on it yet, so.
No other further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do we need the motion?
Motion.
No, nobody has made a
I'll
motion.
make the motion to approve that.
I'll second your motion.
Now, any more discussion?
Kind of telegraphed how you're going to vote.
Nay.
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item added to the agenda was construct a 50 by 100, a 16 building at the highway yard, you know?
Commissioners, this is something that we have been talking about for quite a number of years and have had in our capital plan. And 3 weeks ago, I believe, we were talking about it in a study session and decided we better go ahead and get some quotes so we can see what we're facing with that, because as you've noted before, prices continue to increase. So the highway department reached out to 3 vendors and we do have 4 bids. And we were pleasantly surprised with the quotes that came in. So we had a quote from RM Construction. Now, what we quoted was obviously the 50 by 100 by 16 foot. It's a ridge frame building with 26 gauge sheet material. And then obviously 1 foot by 3 inch stem wall, 1 foot by 3 foot stem walls, and then the frame and doors and trim, but we did not quote concrete. We had a vendor that came back and advised that they were able to provide us concrete for the floor. So the bids from RM Construction without the concrete was $161,520. With a concrete floor, additional $13,000, he was able to do that. So the total quote for that is $174,520.06. And then we also received another quote from RM Construction where he used a subcontractor. That's $205,675. We had a quote from Wildcat Services at $182,536.20. And another quote from Varco for $196,497 even. So our recommendation would be to go with the quote from RM Construction. RM is out of Junction City. We are anticipating this will be probably 2 months for it to be completed. The highway department would set the base. They have the ability to do that, so they'll prepare the ground for that. And our recommendation would also be to go ahead and include the concrete floor with that at the $174,520.06.
I'll make a motion to accept the RM Construction bid of $174,520.06 for the construction of the building and concrete.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? You might talk about the funding of this, you know, a little bit, I think.
So since this is out of capital, that comes out of their capital fund, which is the special machinery fund. And we've been setting money aside in that for the past few years if there was a little bit of excess. So we have the funding in there to pay for this building. It also, the benefit is going to be obviously that we'll be able to put more equipment in under storage or under a roof. And especially with this winter where we had the very, very, very low extreme temperatures and wind, we had trouble starting some of our vehicles, and this will protect that. We saw that with a few vehicles that we were able to store inside, so.
No. No other discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I want to go back. I'm sorry, Gina, I should ask it about the approval of purchase, you know, the funding for that. We'll be funding it and they'll be paying us back.
Correct. On the sewer district, we will have to fund it because there's a special assessment that goes for the operation of the sewer district, and we're only receiving in a certain amount. So I don't want to deplete that fund in case there's other things that come up. So we will go ahead and pay for it up front, and then each year we'll do a journal entry and reallocate funds to take care of that. And I'm anticipating maximum 3 years for that to be paid off.
Motion to go into executive session for non-elected personnel to 15 minutes.
15 minutes should be
You'll
enough.
all be invited.
So it would be the commissioners, Doug, Forrest, Rhodes, and myself.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye. We'll
Aye.
Aye. At what time though?
go in at 11:30.
11:30.
Yeah,
11:31.
11:31, and come out at 11:30, 11:46. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we leave executive session and return to regular session.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
I'll go ahead and make the motion.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve the agreement that was outlined in our executive session so we can proceed with that part.
I'll second that motion.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Any other business to come before the commission today? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Oh, so move that we adjourn.
And then seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Stand adjourned.